Stomach. Okay, so this one is gonna, and I'm gonna have you, let's go, these first few drills are ones that I got from Evan Osar, the therapist out of Chicago. And like I said, he's one of the first guys that started talking about breathing patterns to me, but he also is very good with working with people who live in more of extended posture and trying to improve more of that, getting that upward rotation going. Because if people who are in that extended posture tend to be very glued in place, so we want to try to quote unquote unglue them. So what I'm going to have Gavin do is he's going to extend his arms out and he's going to bend his elbows. Okay, you're going to tuck your chin for me, just like that, and then you're going to go palms flat, and you're going to radially deviate your wrists, so these thumbs are kind of facing each other, okay? So what I'm going to have him do is just a very subtle cue, and this isn't anything like crazy, but we're just starting the process of getting a little bit of like protraction into that upward rotation. And really what I'm trying to do, if you remember what we saw with Evan, that he did present with a little bit more of a flatter T-spine, if you guys remember. Like I could stand at the side and my hand would kind of like disappear between the shoulder blades. So he's like a perfect candidate and individual for this exercise. So again, and we also said, what did we say with him? Serratus is probably going to be a thing that we got to work on, not to mention just working upward rotation in general. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to cue Evan, or Gavin, I'm going to put my hands in between, around his rib cage, and I'm just going to cue him to kind of gently press his elbows into the floor, and then pretend that there's a string in between his thumbs, I should say, and he's going to try to rip them apart without moving your hands. So you're going to try to rip them, yeah, just like that, perfect, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to have him press his elbows into the floor, yep, I already feel that activating, and then pressing the elbows, or the thumbs away. And then I'm going to have you take a deep breath in and filling in this space. So take a deep breath in, and when you exhale, maintain that. So full exhale out your mouth. Good, maintain that, keep pressing in. Keep pressing away. Good. See how he's shaking a little bit already. A little. Good. Inhale in. Good. And we're getting length in here. Okay. And like I said, you heard me say activate. Like I could feel like his shoulder blades start to protract already, which is great. Okay. So let's do one more. Full inhale. Maintain this. Don't lose it. Don't sink into it. So as you exhale, make sure you maintain this. Maintain that length. Good. Exhale. Nice job. And relax. Good. Yeah, you feel that, right? So he's someone that's going to really, really get a lot out of that. And it's just subtle. I mean, this is the first progression of this, right? So a lot of your clients who are more flat T-spined, live in more extension, need to get a little bit more serratus activation. This is just the starting point. Something really simple is just building context. Okay. Do like 5 reps of that? Or? Yeah, I did 3 breaths. So again, 3 to 5 breaths, but make sure that when they exhale, they're not sinking back into it. They got to maintain that space, and then that could be a filler exercise, or it could be something an extended warm up, but nothing crazy. Like 1 set of 5, or a part of a corrective strategy just could be like you could do this once in the AM, once in the PM. That's up to you to figure that out. But again, this is a really good starting point as far as getting that protraction into that upward rotation. So next we're going to do a modified quadruped position. So same concept, but we're just going to up the ante a little bit. So I'm going to have Gavin go up onto his knees. Okay, and let's go our forearms to the floor. Okay, and you're going to sit back into here. Good. And then same, tuck your chin, and then we're going to go same thing, palms down. Okay. And same thing, you're going to stay here. Okay. Now I'm going to put my hands here just to make sure he activates. So you're going to press your elbows into the floor, rip the string apart. Good. Now you're going to keep that chin tucked. Take a deep breath in between your shoulder blades, and then exhale, but maintain that. Good. Don't sink into it. Keep pressing into here the whole time. Don't use your upper traps. Good. Good. Don't lose that. Fill in this space right here. Really dome it out. Make a dome. Make a dome. Make a dome. There you go. Exhale. And let's do one more after this one. Don't rush your exhale though. Inhale. Good job. Awesome. You feel that, right? Good. And if I know you guys when we break off, you'll feel that. You just feel these guys turn on. You feel his shoulder blades start to protract around. Because I want them to go around the rib cage. And relax. How's that feel? Where do you feel that?
And feel it under the right shoulder.
Great. Yeah. That's how I want him to say, I feel it right here. I'm like, oh no, you don't want to feel it in your quad. Like the exact wrong area that we want him to feel it.
What's the direction of work? here?
Yeah, so you think about either here, and we're radially deviating, and I'm just thinking about pressing lightly onto the floor with the elbows, and I'm thinking about doing this, but not allowing my hands to do that. Right, and again, we're just subtly getting him to learn to get those shoulder blades to get around the rib cage, because especially what we saw with him is he had none. They weren't nearly getting around to that midline. All right, so the next progression from there, the last one, is going to be quadruped into elbow extension. Okay, so I'll just demonstrate really quickly and have you do it. So I'm just going to do a quick version of it. So if he's here, he's going to press in, spread his thumbs, and he's going to inhale. And see how, yep, keep pressing it. And now we're going to maintain that dome. And I'm pushing into, I'm getting that reaching pattern in there. Okay, does that make sense? And we're going to do 3 breaths like that. So the first one you're going to extend out, and then we're going to maintain it. Okay, so let's bring it out a little bit. Good. So here, press your elbows in, break the string. Good. Inhale, exhale, and extend your elbows. Good. Now you're there. Maintain this length. So inhale, dome out. And as you exhale, keep pressing into the floor. Yeah, see how he's got that length there now? That's good. Inhale. Dome out. It's hard. He's struggling a little bit. Okay, relax. Okay. Whew. Right? Right. So you should feel it right in those, right in the side. So let's just break off really quickly and just practice. So partner up. And let's practice those 3. And Dean and I will walk around to coach you guys up on it, because I know I just threw a lot of it. But start with the prone one first, the full lengthening. So just kind of partner up.
There's also more turf variation.
So let's go through a couple of the band exercises. So a few that I like that are going to be more work on retraction, a little bit of posterior tilt. Are going to be more standing base and against the wall. So one that I like a lot is going to be the band W. So you basically have someone stand, feet together, making sure they're not cranking through their lower back, right? And they're going to hold the band like so, the palms facing each other, and you're going to have them pull the band apart and make a W, and bring it back. So it's not here. Okay, you notice how when I say W, how my arms are kind of making a W motion, right? And what I'm doing here, if I get to the backside, you're going to notice how it makes a W, and I'm getting scapular retraction and posterior tilt of the shoulder blade. Okay, so again, the retraction part is a cool thing for a lot of people, but that posterior tilt too is going to be important too, as far as getting that lower trap, right? And doing this for a few. And what are you looking for as far as compensation patterns on this one? Right, people are going to want to crank through their lower back. So even this band is kind of aggressive for me, but I mean, I might even use a thinner band, but it's going to be here, and it's very subtle. Like it's not, there's not a ton of range of motion here. And I might hold it for like a 1 to 2 second count and relax. And I feel it all back here, retraction in that posterior tilt, getting that lower trap fire. So that's one great exercise. The other 2 I like to do are called band windshield wiper and band wall walk. All right, so I'm going to use this bat. Hopefully no one opens the door on me. No one's in there, right? Like, oh, surprise. All right, so even these bands, and just for, I like for these 2 exercises in general, I like more of the shorter bands that you can wrap around your ankle. That makes sense. So those bands are actually better for these 2 exercises, but these are what we have available. So we're just gonna roll with these because I can still demonstrate fine. So against the wall, I'm gonna go staggered stance. Okay, because as opposed to squared stance, I find staggered stance is harder it's harder to extend through the lower back. So it's just kind of like a back sparing way of doing it. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to start with the number 11. So my arms make the number 11. So this is not the number 11. So they're here. And you're going to spread apart like so. And think about when I actually do the exercise, I'm rotating through my elbow. So is this motion I'm looking for. I'm not looking for this. So again, if I set up, so I'm going to be here. And again, this band's a little aggressive. Like, this is going to be hard. So I'm going to spread it like so, make the number 11, and then I'm going to go boom, 1. And it's very subtle, 2, 3. And I automatically feel a lot in that serratus and lower trap. I'm just getting that posterior tilt. And the thing why I feel serratus a lot is I'm pushing myself. I'm not here doing the exercise. I'm actually protracting away, spreading, and then doing this motion.
So you're applying pressure and pulling the set.
Yes, exactly. I'm kind of pushing myself away from the floor, getting that protraction. So that's huge. And I know every workshop I do this with Dean, I say the same, oh man, I gotta do this more, this hurts, I'm so weak there, and then, you know, I gotta do more of them, because it's challenging. All right, so the next one's gonna be the wall walk, okay? So that was band windshield wiper, okay? So it looks like a windshield wiper, and the wall walk, same exact setup as far as the initial setup. So staggered stance, I spread the band apart, I push myself away, right? And now I'm gonna walk up. Maintaining good, so I'm not going into extension here, right? So I'm maintaining a good protraction the whole time. 2, and you got to use what range of motion you have. Like you kind of go to the point where your forearms just come off the wall a little bit. Your hands should stay, and then you're gonna control it back down here. And one thing to be aware of is as your setup and your end point should be right here. So as I come up and I come back down, I don't want to end in this position. Okay, so it's important that you stay in that 90-degree angle, push yourself away, and walk up. And already I'm like, man alive, I just hit the serratus. So for people who thought that was challenging for serratus, these two are going to be, for you, you're going to hate these. So, but in a good way, good hate, good hate. All right, so let's try those 3 really quickly. So maybe...
A lot of these drills are fantastic because they give you the option of working bilateral. But let's say you have somebody who needs to do some unilateral type work, which most of our clientele do. If you're right-hand dominant, left-hand dominant, if you're a thrower, pitcher, anything like that, you can still do unilateral-based exercise very effectively and very well. Can I get you to just watch the camera right beside you? We're also filming this too, so you probably don't need to film much of it. Okay. So next, if you want to just go into a quadruped position using any kind of a shelf here, we've got a plate, and all I want you to do is keep both arms straight, keep your shoulders relatively level, and then you're just going to sag on the one shoulder, which puts you into a retracted position on this one, and then you're just going to protract to come back up. So a key on this is not to turn. So I don't want to see thoracic rotation on it. It's just pure scapular retraction, protraction work, trying to create some of that same work coming through the one shoulder. Now if we wanted to up the ante on this one, it's very easy to do. You just take a band. And everyone in here has probably done band resisted push-ups, right? So you just do the same thing. You're going to do a band resisted, scapular, retraction, protraction. And then if you wanted to, you could even go into a high position here, and the free arm is able to do work.
So when you're doing that, you want them to concentrate, except for the last little move you did there, you want them thinking about the shoulder blade that's on the plate.
Yeah. So if I'm here, this shoulder doesn't really move.
Yeah.
It's all coming off of this shoulder. If I'm doing the band resistor one here, it's all this shoulder. So you can play around with it, whether you want it to be left shoulder, right shoulder, how you want to go about it.
But he's maintaining stability, protraction on the non-working side. So I mean, there is a little bit of work going on in the non-moving one too.
Yeah. So this version here with the band is actually surprisingly harder because I still have to work this side while allowing motion to occur on this side.